What's good, y'all? So I want to talk about something quick that I find super interesting, and it's actually not very good. So I was watching the Kwame Brown live stream this morning. Shout out Kwame Brown Bus Life. And this is no knock at Kwame. Um, it's something that I just realized in the Black community as a whole, right? So we don't. We're the one of the last communities that doesn't understand or can comprehend that what you hear on the TV isn't real. I think it's because of a couple reasons, but I think the main reason is the female Black community is so bought into this system, full hook, line, and sinker. And the males being taken out of the household where, and everybody, this is a fact that women are kind of move off emotion. Most men are off more logic, right? So the Black community really doesn't have a lot of the logic side. It's just all emotion. That's why we see all of like the Black people spazzing out on people and all of that stuff. So we don't understand that like we are constant. We don't know we're being propagandized. We think they're telling the truth. And that's why I say most other countries don't have to deal with that because they're people like in Russia, they know they're being propagandized. In China, they know they're being propagandized. Here, we think we're not. So we believe what our government and what the papers say, and we trust the sources and all that stuff. And it's super odd that especially after 2020 and all of that whole thing that affected all our lives that we almost lost our jobs for and all that stuff, that everybody that was on TV and everybody that was supposed to be an authority figure or experts everybody was wrong, and we just skip by that as a Black community. Like, oh, okay, no, like when you're proven right, you got to understand that you're right about that now. like, it's super odd. It's a super odd thing, and I get it because the Black community is so dependent on this system that we currently live under because one, we have no ownership in nothing, and the ones that do have ownership are the ones that are screwing the bottom half because they think that they are the only ones that can make it. It's like scarcity of resources, which is not. So what triggered this? Talking about the Israel-Iran war that's going on and the bombings and all that stuff. And Kwame was explaining what's happening, and it almost like it's not. I don't want to say it's dangerous because it's not dangerous. It's uninforming his crowd to not understand what's really happening in the Middle East right now. What's really happening in the Middle East right now? It's a plan called the Greater Israel Plan, and America was losing its our status in the world. We can all agree with that, right? So this is the Hail Mary from Israel to secure the Greater Israel Plan, because when they do, then they own all the resources in the Middle East. And people are like, well, Egypt is Muslim, all of the other Muslim countries. The reason why they're attacking Iran is the last Muslim countries that they don't own. They own all the rest of them. Like that, it's not. They're not at the. It's when you really put it in perspective of what's happening there. Gaddafi was 100% right, and everything Gaddafi said happened. Look up Gaddafi's speech to the UN, so this video doesn't get demonetized. Look up Gaddafi's speech to the UN and listen what he says very closely and think about the reality that we're in today. So it was something else that Kwame said was, when your allies get into it, then you gotta go. And that's the thing that I think the Black community still doesn't understand because we're so indoctrinated in the Christian religion, which is not all bad. because some of the best black people I know are Christian. Some of the worst are too, but some of the best I know, if they truly live in that, they are truly solid people. Um, but that country that's fighting right now is not, or that started that stuff over there over on Friday, is not actually an ally. Actually, they own our government. One, that's why you see their flag being flown in our halls of government everywhere, and why people were getting arrested for saying, criticizing them. Not even, and then it's labeled as something else. So that's really what it is. They own our government. And with them owning our government, that means we're actually the second class of that, because, and it, for whatever it means, it could be because of the blackmail. And it's an interesting thing about blackmail to me that I thought about now. Remember about a month ago with the Glenn Greenwald stuff, and now it's gone? Like, blackmail only works if you aren't sure of who you are. So that, to me, it not only shows that, like, yeah, it's a lot of poor character people in politics. Of course, that's always throughout history have been time. People that want power seek power, and eventually they might get power. It is what it is. But it also shows the weakness and mental fortitude of all of our elected officials, because you are one of the most powerful people in the world, and you're letting a random country control you because of something you did, when why don't you say you did it, unless it's illegal. And that's the part where I'm like, these people must have done stuff illegal that the Mossad has on them. Because if it's just like, and it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. It's actually not that tough. Like, if it's not illegal, they should be they do whatever you want. That's what that's what the other side of the aisle wants. That's what everybody wants, right? Everybody to be able to live how they live, do how they do, just don't bother me, right? So why would it matter? That's the part that's, it's very odd to me. Very odd to me. But essentially is that country in the Middle East, the non-Muslim country in the Middle East, has been bombing everybody, and is currently bombing everybody around them. And it's all about resources. Oh, Greater Israel Plan. So the Greater Israel Plan, the thing that makes a difference is they, once they get that plan, then they own all the resources, right? And then they don't need America anymore. So this is a play to get us to go in and try to help them so they can actually screw us in the end. It's a spirit. That's a spirit, bro. Because it's like it's a level of manipulation that's like insane. And it's a level of lack of self-awareness that's crazy, that like, we see you, fam. We see what you're doing. Like, how you gonna act like we don't see what you're doing? And that's the part where I'm like, no, these people really, I don't know. I don't understand it. Uh, all I'm saying is, and I said it again, I said it about the riot stuff, the LA, and like the whatever that riot was going to be called, the No Kings crap that didn't work, that failed big time, because they all depended on the black community. Like, I'm gonna touch on this real quick. The people that are controlling what's going on in society, right, from the top down, those people, I understand what BLM was now. BLM was to get us to see that, okay, everybody else supported y'all, so when they can do this BS, that we would feel obligated to support it too. It's been a play the entire time. I realized that this morning. I was like, it was a play this entire time. The thing that they don't realize about my people, if it's gonna put us in jeopardy of losing it, we're very selfish people. And we not gonna put our neck out. We won't do that for our family members sometimes. We won't do that for our like immediate family members sometimes. So, and we also not, as the people that are trying to control the black community, They think they know the black community and can predict what we're gonna do because they have access to the ones that they paid and they own. And what they realize is that black people is you got certain, some niggas worship celebrities and do all that stuff, right? But the majority of black people are black people, and then we part-time niggas. So we might have some nigga tendencies, or we might Saturday night go and nigga it out, but in the rest of our life, we're not niggas. Like we're functional members of society too, and that's the demographic that they forget that, like, bro, we not going to no protest where we could get hurt at and like get pepper sprayed. We got enough issues. We got to pay rent and stuff, bro. Like, we not going to just volunteer to go out there and get fucked up just because people supported BLM. Like, no, bro, there's no way. Only reason the black community support that country, the non-Muslim country in the Middle East, like they do, is because a lot of us grew up heavy Christian, which was also implemented it's you know what I mean? So it's like been indoctrinated in us to support them, that culture. But that cult, like, that's the part they think they know. Like, nah, bro, the everyday average black person is nothing like with what is on what our the representation of like black celebrities or people that you see is not an accurate representation of black community at all. They're trying to with Gen Z, they're trying their best to make it that, and it's close with Gen Z because Gen Z they got a hold. That's gonna be a mess for the black community. But millennials, nah, bro, we're not like we indulge in that, but we're not that at all, at all. So that's the part that they just don't understand, bro. But if I could say one thing, I would wish that the black community would be a little more informed and realize, and I say informed like because black people are informed, but they're getting informed by sources like the news and like social media, which is all not real. Like all of that is propaganda and fake and bot accounts and like all of it is. I wish and I got to do a better job of this of saying like who I watch, like Max Blumenthal, like Jimmy Dore show, Scott Ritter, like, and these are all people that are very, very prominent. But I realized I was in like a niche community, and like the mass of the population doesn't really care for that stuff. So I wish I got to do a better job of identifying the people I watch, so where I can show where I get my information from, or where I like kind of sum up when I'm about to do a video from. But yeah, man. And then the other thing is we have to have a separation in the black community, and it's tough because it's going to be some of our family members, it's going to be some of our friends, it's going to be all of that, it's going to be some of that, but we got to separate black culture, black American culture that we're proud of, that we know that we built this country kind of crew. We got to separate that from the niggas that just want to leech off. Everybody got them in their life that want to leech off society and they're lazy and don't want to do nothing and talk a good game, but ain't about nothing. We got to separate ourselves from that group that's just shiesty or backstab you, will take penitentiary chances for no reason, just the low IQ group, and then the manipulative group. We got to separate ourselves from them because we are like, but the black people I know and that like that are doing stuff, man, are just are killing it in the world. And we need to stop letting that side affect us mentally and our ego and our feeling self-conscious because we not that enough. We don't need to be that. We can let them be that. We don't need to be that. We can create our own kind of culture of how we kind of move. So just a thought. All right, y'all. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm out. Peace. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out my music on all streaming platforms. kennykamz. Kamz with a K. Okay. Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, man.
Hey, just a chill guy. She like girls written on your eyes. Why you trying to hide? I know you got your secrets, but ain't no need to fight it. Down the past life and all week and last night. What up? Just be outside when I pull up. Girl, just hop your finance in this truck and bust this move with me. Girl, you know what you do to me. What you do to me. What you do to me. Yeah. When one door closed, a couple open. I'm drinking Mai Tais while she rubbing lotion. That egg get salty when you fuck with ocean.